Yep, it's me again. They hate me, that's why they give a fuck about me at the same time. As always, I am your host, JD Miles. The MGTOWs, they love to hate. Even the ones that claim everybody loves to hate them, loves to hate MGTOW at the same time as always, which is why they keep us relevant to this day. And I'm back again. Boy, y'all gonna love this topic of discussion. 40-year-old single mother of three has a question for the men. And before I go any further, shout out to the average man unplugged. I'll leave the link to his full video in the description box. Go check it out. But let's hear the question this 40-year-old single mother of three have to ask, shall we?
I have a question for the fellas. I just legit would like to know. I read a comment where a man said that he would never raise another man's seed, meaning raise another man's child. And I'm trying to understand what's the mindset behind that. Say you meet a woman and you love her vibe, she has all the qualities that you're looking for, and she has a kid, but the father isn't active in the kid's life. Are you going to not date her because you don't want to raise someone else's kid? And if so, why? I feel like
because maybe that's what they don't want to do. Maybe because it's not their responsibility. And where's your child's father at? And yes, I am answering your question with questions. The question is very simple. Just like how you have single childless women out here who don't want to be with a man who is a single father, guess what? It's going to be vice versa as well. And keep in mind, these men out here are not obligated to take care of another man's responsibility. It's one thing if they are willing to do it, but they're not obligated to do it. But let's continue on with this part, shall we?
If you meet this woman and she has all the qualities that you're looking for, and she has this kid whose father is not in their life, I feel like that's a good thing to have another adult, a male figure in the picture to give some guidance, especially if it's a little boy. I would be.
As I said, ma'am, these men are not obligated. There's no contract that were signed by these men that stated, if I see a woman who has a child or has children, I am obligated to step up and be the stepdaddy. Nope. There are no contracts. There are no blood sacrifices. There are none of that. It is all up to him. And if he does not want to be, if he does not want to settle to be with a woman with kids, that's his decision. Just like how women out here have their options too. If they don't want to be with a certain man, guess what? You're not going to change their mind. And if these women are not changing their minds, then what makes you think that the same rules don't apply to the men? It's all up to the men whether or not they want to be stepdaddy. And if they don't want to, then there's nothing you can say or or a single mom-splain that's going to make them change their mind. It's just that simple. Let's continue.
Be honored to step up and be there for that kid, especially if that kid did not have a mother in their life. Every child needs a mother and father figure. And just because you meet a woman and she has kids doesn't mean that you are their father. You're a father figure for them. You're giving them some.
Well, thank you for clarifying that. Thank you for clarifying that, ma'am. But I'm about to show two clips here that's going to completely contradict that notion that you're just saying. Because by how I'm hearing from all of this, ma'am, you sound like you're the exception to the rule. Who thinks that she can speak for all single mothers as a whole. Imagine if the gender roles were reversed here. And you hear a single father saying all this to a single and childless female. He get laughed off the internet. But somehow there's always exceptions to the rules. Somehow it's different. But let's continue.
Something that the mother cannot. And when it's all said and done, it's all about these kids, y'all. This is the reason why our kids are so fucked up now. They come from broken homes.
Again, and who's responsible for that?
They come from poverty.
And who's responsible for that?
Come from lack of guidance. And if you
again, who's responsible for that?
You have two people helping this kid succeed. They will be better adults when they grow up. We have to get out of that mindset of I'm not raising another man's seed. And just think about the kid.
Oh, please. Think of the children. Fuck out of here. And furthermore, ma'am, guess what? It ain't up to you. It ain't up to you. You don't make the decisions for these men out here. These men make the decisions for themselves. Again, you, ma'am, are the exception to the rule who thinks she can speak for all single mothers as a whole, in which, yes, I will debunk that. I will debunk that notion shortly. Just hang on for a minute. Let's continue.
Like, think about if it were you and if you were missing your father in your life and how nice it would have been if your mom had met someone that was willing to step up.
Oh, great. It's one of these put yourselves in these situations in which I refuse to. Why? Because I was not raised in a single parent household. I was raised with both my parents, both me and my siblings. Now, if you expect people to understand that there are people that came from single parent households is one thing, but you're trying to use this as a way to try to convince men to settle, which is not going to work. It damn sure ain't going to work for these single fathers out here. It damn sure ain't going to work for these single fathers out here trying to convince single childless women to get with them. No, it doesn't work. Let's continue.
And play that role in the absence of your actual father.
So in other words, by the end of the day, it's not about having a relationship with this man, having a relationship with this man. No relationship, no marriage. It's none of that. It's none of that. It's more like you need a help me. You need a help me figure. Not a father figure, a help me figure. Again, thank you for that clarification. But let's continue on.
It matters, y'all. Like I cannot fathom saying that I would never raise another woman's kids if these kids don't have no motherly figure in their life. Like,
and once again, ma'am, you're the exception to the rule. Can I go ahead and just say this out front? Stop acting like you're the rule when you're the exception. Because the only single mothers you can speak for, ma'am, is just yourself. And if you could only speak for yourself, what makes you think you could speak for all single mothers as a whole, as if all these single mothers stand in agreement to what you have to say? You're the only exception to the rule compared to all the others, that don't think like you, ma'am. They don't. Sorry, not sorry. Let's continue.
Like, we have to be there for these kids. Like, seriously, it's not that big of a deal. It's not. I don't understand. Can y'all please help me explain? Maybe my way of thinking is off, but if somebody can tell me why you wouldn't raise another man's kid and make it make sense, then maybe I'll change my mindset. I doubt it, but I'll at least listen to what y'all have to say.
Oh, yeah?
Stop the cap.
Oh, you have all these questions, ma'am. But apparently, let's take a look again.
Just listen to what y'all have to say.
Oh, you have all these questions and you have all these challenges you want to put out. And yet somehow your comments are turned off. Stop the fucking cap. You ain't looking for answers, ma'am. You just want to be right. What's the matter? What's the matter? You afraid? You afraid of anybody leaving comments disagreeing on your stance, refuting what you have to say? And usually when Uncle JD comes across videos like these where you got individuals want to challenge things, but wants to turn off their comments, only thing I can say is these sorry individuals need a goddamn safe space. And furthermore, the ones who disable their comments are the ones who just want to be right. It's not about agreeing and disagreeing. She just wants to be right in general. And she can't take it when people don't agree with all the things she has to say. And which, if that's the case, then why she's out here asking questions she don't want the answer to, and why she's throwing challenges is she's afraid of her challenges getting destroyed. God damn it, you can't make this shit up. Stop the cap.
Yeah, I don't think she was looking for validation. She did not come into that conversation in good faith. But there's like a long list of reasons why men don't. For one, I think the two biggest ones are family courts, and financial. Imagine that, 2 F's.
Straight up average man unplugged. Now, let's take a look at some fine examples. Let's take a look at some fine examples when you have men who do step up. And this is how these entitled single mothers repay their gratitude. Let's take a look at these. Let's take a look at them. Now let's see what these stepdaddies have to go through and how these entitled single mothers show their appreciation since that 40-year-old single mother of 3 believes that crap that she says in her video. But let's see how these stepdaddies are actually treated out here, shall we? And shout out to JR Wisdom. I'll leave the link to his full video in the description box as well. Go check that out too. Let's continue on.
I left my laptop over here, so I came to get it. And I get here, and the person that I had to be daddy for, because he didn't want to be a dad in the beginning, he in the house with his game hooked to the TV I bought. You know what I'm saying? His clothes in here. He just chilling. I got to leave. I live here.
Just until we finish talking.
I live here. He's gone. He's gone. You proud of yourself?
Post it on Facebook.
You proud of yourself?
Hey,
Proud of myself.
It's funny. Okay. His gang hooked the TV I bought. And then she gives the daughter I've been raising, the daughter I taught how to speak, the daughter I taught how to walk, the daughter I taught how to use the pot. She gave her to him. You know what I'm saying? This shit crazy, man.
That's right. Ain't nothing like being in a father figure for a single mother that's still getting her goddamn cheeks clapped by her baby daddy. Is this what this 40-year-old single mother of 3 want these men to do? Be in this goddamn situation? Wow. Just wow. Let's continue.
You just said that your baby daddy that didn't want to be a father, that you said had AIDS, all this shit. You said he came to pick up something. It's about loyalty. It's about. Come on, bro. You don't.
And no, your eyes don't deceive you. That's a cop. So we know for a fact that this is not a skit. In other words, both the asses will be locked up on a false police report. But let's continue.
You don't know what it's about. The dude. Listen, you asked me to have a baby with you and killed it. Yeah, because you got this dude.
I was paying for everything. I'm not gonna have a baby.
You were not paying for everything.
Working 3 jobs.
You had a baby.
guys, it's 1 o'clock in the morning.
Okay, you had a baby with a dude while you were homeless and no car. You had the baby.
I was 17.
Okay, you're not 17 now, and he back around with his PlayStation hooked to my TV.
No choice but to co-parent. What are you talking about?
So wait a second. She got pregnant while she was homeless, but she swears up and down that she pays for everything. How does that work? Let's continue.
Co-parent, you had a parent in the house. What you talking about co-parenting? You just kicked her parent that taught her how. I taught her how to talk. I taught her how to use the pot. I taught her how to walk. And you talking about you had to co-parent with this guy who didn't want to be a parent?
Hey, lady. I hope all this answers your question. Let's continue.
I said that you couldn't be in her life, but quite frankly, we're not going to be together. I didn't want to be with you.
You want to be with him. That's why his PlayStation hooked to the TV that I bought.
No.
Why his PlayStation end up here?
I'm not going to keep repeating myself.
So he came to pick up Summer.
It's already squared away.
He came to pick up Summer. That's why his PlayStation hooked to the TV.
He came over yesterday to see Summer. Today,
you said he left his PlayStation.
Yes.
And he came to pick her up 12 o'clock in the morning.
Got here at 11.
Ma'am, the difference being, let's continue.
Really, Naya?
Really, Justin? Really, Justin?
Really, Naya?
Really, Justin?
So, fellas, y'all see this is another cold-blooded situation. Buddy came here to pick his stuff up or came home or whatever, and he noticed that dude's stuff was in the room, already had the PlayStation hooked up to his TV. She tried to hide it inside there in the kids' room, and she's acting like, why are you here? Called the cops on Buddy to get him up out of there.
And the crazy part about it is, that's his own house. She was the one who was homeless. God damn. You get them off the streets, next thing you know, they're acting like they own the goddamn place. Let's continue.
And the other dude probably sneaked out because he know this dude was paying the bills up in here. And my man stayed with her because a lot of y'all dudes, y'all will get with a woman when she's having a baby, going through hard times. She said she was homeless. He tried to help her out, thought he was going to be a daddy. Tried to say, hey, this dude was locked up or whatever. He ain't nothing. This dude got the ninja. I don't want to have nothing to do with him. It's just me and you. You can raise her. She gonna call you daddy and all this. But what you got to realize deep down inside, that father is always going to be the father to that child. If that's her first love, or if that's the first dude that she really had an attachment with and she had a baby with, don't think that he can't show back up. Especially she's...
Facts. Straight facts. I wonder what these single mothers got to say now. What do these single mothers who question these men who don't want to be stepdaddy has to say now? Let's continue.
She's secretly talking to him. And y'all saw the outfit she was wearing. That's a prime cheek clapping outfit. If you ever dealing with a woman and she wears like that tube top, ladies, y'all know the name of those dresses. That pink dress she had on that you guys will probably see in the thumbnail with the bonnet, that means she wants to get her cheeks clapped. If she ever calls you over or if y'all on a date or whatever and she answers the door wearing that, she wants to get smutted. I'm just saying. But yeah, she has the bonnet, called the cops on the dude because she probably done got what she needed, got back on her feet, even though women don't care about removing you from their child's life. If the other dude, as much as stuff that she's saying about him, about he had this, he was a deadbeat, he didn't want to be, she needed somebody to help her raise the kids, which is what women will say. They need a man.
These men are no good, but they're pregnant. These men are all bad, but they're pregnant.
In their life to help raise the kid, and the dude, you'll be that sucker coming in, be like, well, I'll be her new daddy, I'll be this, I'll be that. You just have to cut all contact with the baby daddy. And that's what a lot of y'all dudes' agreement is. And by you just saying that to her, that makes her want to talk to and communicate with him even more. So don't think that a woman's not down to deal with the dude. The video I did before, Buddy was crying, the kids is making fun of him and all that. So
I take that back. I didn't get in the bed. They go to bed. I thank you when you're not here. Every day when you go to work.
This is yet another Amazon Prime example. Oh, these children need father figures. Oh, would you please think of the children? But guess what? Look how the children thinks of him.
You like I did something to you. I did nothing to you.
I asked you what that smell was yesterday. You said my breath, right?
Jane, what the fuck? That's a joke. You saw the instance in right there.
Oh, Lord.
Volunteering to be a stepdad is really a thankless job. And if you think that you're really going to get some kudos or some good deeds, if you will, or some brownie points. Nah. Women are
And these single mothers out here sitting there wondering why these men don't want to be stepdaddies. I hope this answers your question, ma'am. This is why these men don't want to be stepdaddies, and why y'all got to be on social media shaming, lecturing, telling these men that, oh, you're not a real man unless you're taking care of someone else's kids. But yet they got to put up with this shit. And that's what these entitled single mothers think these men are supposed to do. Have several seats. Better yet, don't have several seats. Get the fuck up out of here with that retarded fuck shit. But yes, I hope this answers her question. And no, just because you disable your comments doesn't mean you're not going to get a response. That being said, I'm done. Shout out to both Average Man Unplugged and JR Wisdom. Both links to their full videos will be in the description box. Go check them out. I said what I had to say. I'm done. I'm done on this matter, and I'm out this bitch. Later.